G'day everybody, how are we all? Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good. Let me get this camera right. It's been a pretty a spotty day. We haven't had any rain, but we've had, you see, that sort of cloud. Uh, um, but I have got some stuff done. And we've had some breakthroughs with the chickens. Nobody's died, which is great on a little micro farm. It sadly becomes a way of life sometimes, especially when you've got dogs that like to eat stuff. But let's have a look and see what I've done. I've cleaned all the edges of this. Try not to pan too fast. They cleaned all the edges out, and I've brought my trees back in. I'm just going to muck around with them, but I think these two trees are probably going to go where they are, and well, where I've put them right now. And the good thing is that I've dug another hole, and we've probably got another 3 to 4 inches of topsoil under that, which is nearly all topsoil. I think the top 3 or 4 centimeters is dolomite, crushed dolomite, or crushed blue metal. But that's really good. It means I won't have to do too much to the root ball of the mulberry, which is probably going to be planted there, like I said, or the nectarine. And then once a couple of weeks' time, this will be one of the first jobs is to start filling this out with trees, because, like they say, best day to plant a tree is yesterday. I found out some little bit different news up here, all the way up there. Somebody wants to build a house on top of that hill there. Now, I don't know. I've seen the house, and it's just a bog standard house. It's pretty big, but what I'm worried about more is what sort of fencing they're going to put up, and what that rock wall is going to look like. And we've got heaps of questions. So we've got onto the council and we said, look, we need far more info, because it's pretty important to us that remains pretty similar to what it is, given that we've only been here for a month and nobody told us about it. So yeah, we have to make sure that it doesn't change our house valuation. That's probably the most important thing, but also the view, the aesthetic of the valley. And I sometimes wonder when we're going to have enough farmland in the future. Well, that's farmland, and it's being used as farmland, and now it will be a house. So I don't think we need it. I understand why somebody would want to live up there, but I don't understand why the valley would let them live up there, to be honest. All these houses are, what are they? 45 years old. That's enough. It's enough. It's enough, especially with the stuff happening out at Gawler, all that big housing development. I've seen the house. Like I said, it's just a normal house. It doesn't look fancy or anything. Oh, there's Albie. Albie the rooster was nearly named Beshi the rooster. We got a pretty good laugh out of that, and there may have been a couple of variations of Beshi the rooster that were particularly funny. But yeah, we went Albie. That was the guy who raised him, and it's just a cool name. So the quails aren't going to have any names. I'll eat them at some stage, probably. I cook a pretty good quail. So everybody's in with everybody now. They're all getting along. Leela's probably the hardest, but yeah, every now and again we have a bit of strife, but for the most part, they're doing really well, and they're learning. And they're all sort of leaving Albie alone, but Albie will get his stuff together eventually. Once he gets his big comb and his big headdress and his big tail, they won't muck with Albie, I wouldn't imagine. So I have chopped and dropped all of this, which is cool. Chickens just got in here on their own, which was uncool. Jules in particular was smashing that, and I'm wondering whether I do have slugs or whether I've got chickens. I think I might have chickens. I haven't seen any slugs yet, and that white board on the ground there is a slug trap, and there's none under there for 3 days. But I think the trap works. It's all moist in that under there. It's where she got in here. So when I said the other day that had fallen down, it hadn't. It would have been smushy down, and he was after this treasure. So he got it. Well, it's smushy. So yeah, had to bring the warrigal greens inside. They're getting hammered out there. Don't know why. I'll be interested to see if it changes in here. But someone was getting at them. The red cabbages hit in here. They're going cray cray. This is Chinese cabbage or Chinese broccoli. I can't remember which one, but I think they're pretty similar. And they are awesome. They're almost meat. They're so savory. They're my favorite greens. Like, I have never tried collards in America, but these are my favorite greens that I eat, and they're delicious. I might have some tonight. Got some tomatoes, and look at that. That's a very, very successful celery. I think the dirt in here is pretty good. Calendula, guava, more warrigal greens, which I should have probably given to Beshi. And the broad beans have really taken off. I like broad beans. They're quite good looking on a plate, I think. Then we got onions. So you can actually see stuff now. We used to have a lot more planted, but we also have small dinosaurs with feathers, which I think most of them had nowadays, they think. So let's go and have a quick look at what I've done. I showed you all of this. Now, this was pretty difficult doing this by hand. It still is. You can see there's still heaps of rock, but it doesn't matter. It's just going to be grass. And I can hear you screaming from here, but there is a reason. So it's going to be an orchard with grass at the bottom and chickens running through it. So I like grass. I like walking on grass. So I'm a lawn mower man, basically, for a job. Well, that's a lot of my job. And so I've got the tools to cut it, and they'll take me about 10 minutes once, a couple times a week. Got the compost inside. It's cool. That'll help it. And because it's piled up more now, it'll help it too. And I've just given it a water, so that'll help it well. And we got about 3 or 4 ton of pavers, which I'm going to use. I don't know how. I'm going to use them a little bit down there. You'll see that I've put them into in the front of the chicken coop to keep all the pea straw and that in. So they're already pretty useful things. I just don't want them down there. And picking those up out of the shed was just hard work. Out of the garden was hard work. And as me and Beshi and Scotty did that, and loaded them up onto his machine, and then he'd cart them around there, and then we'd unload them again up the top. So yeah, that was hard work. I've ditched a fair bit of rock here. I'm going to water that in, won't matter. And you can see I've used pavers here. So this is looking really nice and tidy. Let's go in and have a look at some quails, shall we? Everybody loves a cute quail. These guys I'll probably just use for eggs. Apparently you've got to be really careful with them because they just lay everywhere. And they're dumb as, by all accounts, not very bright. Are we, little quail? So I'm not going to worry about naming them because they all look the same. And I think, I don't know whether we lost a boy or we lost a girl, but we sexed them the other day. Beshi's got heaps of footage, and it will show you we will show you how to sex them. And he taught me, and it's really easy. It's definitely an animal thing though. So if you're queasy, you probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, they're quite easy to sex apparently. Like they say, got a red breast or red neck, but they all kind of look like red necks or brown necks to me. But they're happy, and they haven't laid yet, even though they're of laying age. And the same guy that gave us the quails also gave us the rooster, Albie the rooster. And yeah, Albie was nearly, did I say this already? Albie was nearly named Beshi. So there you go. All right, that's about it for today, guys. I try and keep it a bit shorter than normal. Everything's going really well, and this is looking much tidier, and we're going to be able to plant trees without too many problems, which is amazing. Amazing. Permaculture is grand. Life is great. Have a lekker weekend, or I hope you had a lekker weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I will speak to you soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow.